Yeah, no. Так. Собственно, всем привет. Сегодня мы будем проходить историю с Patch of Destinies. Проходить я игру буду на Steam контроллере. И, собственно, поехали. Ну, соответственно, я потестил, естественно, потому что, ну и все равно по-любому будет какие-нибудь баги или еще что-нибудь. Конечно же, все стереть.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him.
Просто зайка. Мы защищаем зайку. Лис, который дал клятву защищать зайку. 10 из 10. Привет, Зверополис. Грузится. Это не удивительно, что загрузки у меня долгие, потому что игра сделана на...
The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone." "My mother died for this book!" "I promised her I'd protect you." "Oh, damn it." The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
В общем, суть в том, что игра сделана на Unreal Engine 4. О, отличная тень. Меч есть, и персонажа нет. Просто великолепная тень. Кружись, да я случайно какое-то достижение взял. It's me, run, baby, run. Так, в общем, суть в том, что у меня проблемы с этими движками, они у меня всегда очень долго загружают уровни, поэтому я ненавижу Unreal Engine.
The two ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. "Hey," Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. "Pick on someone as ugly as you." Wait, that didn't come out right. "For the Emperor!" The ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Контратака может прервать любое другое действие. Да, только она по-ебанутому делается. Вот я вам что скажу. Отлично. Так, здесь у нас ничего нет. Так, вроде все работает. Так, и бежим дальше.
A dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
Так, ага. This is part.
The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero's sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Renardo going to get a hero sword?
Да, именно сейчас кто-то решил потискать мой автомобиль.
Wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though.
Ладно, прервемся. Yes. Продолжим.
Perfect.
Так, это меню изготовления мечей. Здесь можно изготовить мощные волшебные мечи. Окей. Ускорение. Основная сила выбрана. Особая сила выбранного меча на следующем уровне. Опять те дружище. Дня. Уже вечер, как бы, ну ладно. Следующий уровень 1 выглядит как... Конечно. Чисто как хач сижу. Ресурсы, необходимые для улучшения выбранного меча рода. Окей. У вас достаточно ресурсов.
A hero sword. QED.
Не-не-не, бруталмен. Что тут есть? Огненный шторм. Руда, субстанция огня, поджечь противника. Зимний шип. Субстанция воды, субстанция ветра. Меч, физическое движение, атак. Также позволяет лечить себя. Руда 30. Самоцвета выбрать нельзя. Ничего нету. Ничего нету. И упасть тут нельзя.
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook and she'd laughed at Renardo's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid.
Надо выключить эти дурацкие оповещения в Стиме, потому что они нам уж слишком большие. Так. Нет. Ой, ладно. Ладно, я потом выключу нахрен все оповещения в Steam, потому что они мешаются очень сильно в игре, когда ты играешь с контроллером от Steam, они просто на пол экрана. Это игра про лиса, который постоянно дох. Я не хз. Вроде это она. По идее это должна быть одна, чувак. Просто буду дохнуть постоянно как сука, как умею. Because I can.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid. Wise ass kid. Hey, look out behind you. Cute, said Renato. Oh, ravens. It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
Просто помедитировать в алтаре. Еще бы косты, как в Dark Souls сделали бы. Он просто сел в костяк рядом отдохнул. При каждом повышении уровня вы получаете 1 очко умений. Чтобы получить новые полезные умения, улучшите очки умений. Окей. 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 Заработано 1. Следующее очко. Открывается уровень умений. Истина 1, истина 2, истина чего? Что-то вообще есть. Так, стандартно нам предлагает изучить круг. Что? При попадании игрока в противника со щитом щит. Понятно. Тут у нас что? Додж. Додж со станом. Тут у нас что? Блин. Фу. Это связано с блоком. Теперь контратака наносит урон. Расстояние за Спарта увеличивается. Так, тут у нас увеличивается хпшечку, хпшка. А здесь у нас стамина, да? Блин, этот джойстик стимовский. Да. This is bad. А, блин.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Spider-Man. О, там вкусняшка лежит. Как туда залезть? Эй! Блин. Честно, такой раканчик. Это просто цветочек был. Я думал, там какой-то ресурс.
And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestra run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. "Stop!" he shouted. "I'm not giving you the book!" shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! But the kid ran for it, and a goggler nailed him with its eye-beam.
Просто немного морковной отбивной. Порубил. Просто этот злобоглаз из проклятых земель короля зафармил.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Мне так кажется, или эта вебка стала лагать, или вообще повисла. Отлично. Ну-ка. Ну, разглючила. А не совсем разглючила. Это... Не знаю даже с чем связано. Да. Что-то она виснуть стала. За тварин. Так, я думаю, что давай мы сейчас эпизод закончим, и я потом, наверное, прервусь, вебку помучу. Не должно быть такого, что интересно с вебкой. Так.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? Oh, it's a blur. And now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for Bill? Renato came back. Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud of its island was covered in ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take out for the rebel base! I will spare your lives! The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that, were only the wings of heaven. Endless blood-colored tornado. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lupino or the Sky Ripper.
Пришло время выбирать. Время починить веб-камеру. Ага. Веб-камера. И все равно она тварина тупит. Интересно, из-за чего? У меня, конечно, есть предположение. Но сейчас мы его проверим. Как должно работать нормально? Это, скорее всего, переходник мой глючит. Да. А еще надо подубавить игру, потому что игра очень громкая. Как минимум, мне надо игру подубавить. Такс, давай-ка, включайся. Надеюсь, она развернется. Она развернулась, это уже хорошо. Такс. Что у нас тут? Даже если Ламина не считается как таковым, он мог... Так, ну, вебку я починил. И... Сейчас его знает, игра слишком громкая. Музыка слишком громкая, музыку еще сильнее придется убавить.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the ravens?
Такс.
Renado's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
Он захотелось что-то. Понятно, отсюда, походу, только хилки дропаются. Субстанция руда. Цветочки рубить нельзя. Что за самоцветы открылись у нас? Так. Это у меня распределение самоцветов. Здесь можно вооружиться с мощными самоцветами, которые усиливают вашу атаку или защиту. Выберите одну из них, чтобы посмотреть ваши самоцветы. Ваши... Каждого цвета есть 3 уровня, а его действие усиливается с каждым уровнем. Выбросить цвета, которые у вас уже есть, повышает его уровень. Самоцветы можно найти в сундуках, разбросанные по... Понятно. Сундуки придется ломать. Или это пройти сундуки? Ну ладно.
This would be the perfect place for a tic-tac-toe board.
Крестики, нолики. О.
The ravens had taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding. firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Достаточно горячим. Не тот меч. Лол. Трудности перевода. А это что такое? Так. Серьезно. Ну да, это хорошо. Что у нас тут? Морковка. Угли. Закликай его до смерти. Так, еще.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to? With materials like this, he could probably make a really nice pair of barbecue tongs. Or even a sword.
Отличные щипцы для барбекю. Так, вебка вроде good. Виснет. Хилки, Осана, чек вижу. Ну да. 14. Так, вебка не глючит, отлично.
Ronaldo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
Такс. Я хочу выучить додж.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Ага, потренировался, теперь идем дальше. Так, стоп, а я там все смотрел? Да, я тут все смотрел. Так, а я могу? Да, я могу подбирать хпшку, даже если я фуловый. Стамина закончилась. Я проебал момент. Так, зачистили. Это, конечно, крутой прыжочек, но нужно расходовать его поаккуратнее. Ты блоха. Да, диалоги тут классные. Диалоги, конечно. Опять алтарь. Так, здесь у нас еще одна дверь. Так, мы апнули левел. Пойдемте-ка что-нибудь прокачаем. Требуется рывок. Рывок-то у меня есть. Почему закрыто? А, одна истину нужно раскрывать. Так, это комба. Замедлите время, что после удачного блока для своего следующего действия. Знаете, я что хочу сделать? Я хочу вот это выучить.
He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion.
Так, я что-то не понял, а что я выучил? Вроде это стамина же. А, бегите быстрее, лол. Сначала скорость должен прокачать, а потом... Ну ладно, скорость тоже пригодится.
Smash.
Надо крушить. Так. Тут босс будет? Очень похоже на что будет босс.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for reasons. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu school. And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right.
Ну, ждем загрузочку.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Захватить Зенобию. О, руда. Почти можно скрафтать меч. Только лапками лифт. Уи. Что с ними такое? Is that? Yep. ХПшки, кстати, от уровня к уровню переходят. Это печально. Это добавляет...
Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
О, эти уже в броне пошли. А вот я вижу супер классный сундук. Супер вкусный сундук. О! Тыкс. Так, 28 РД. Нам по-прежнему не хватает элементов других стихий, чтобы что-то крафтить. В принципе, мы можем хотя бы скрафтить меч себе. Ой-ой-ой.
Bet you never saw that coming.
О. Так получилось, так даже задумано не было. Ну ладно, и так пойдет. Так, найс. Это кажется, или его немного прогличивает. И дверка закрылась. Чё-то мне не нравится, когда за мной все двери закрываются.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renato hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato.
Давайте, арбуз мастер.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lupino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
Действительно, что может пойти не так?
If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short.
Так, сколько там руды-то надо? Чтобы... Мало того, что субстанции нужно. Ого, так еще руды под 70 штук. Да, проще, блин, щільный меч скрафтить. Но даже на него 2 кусочков руды не хватает. А может, дропнется?
He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
Не дропнулась. Печалька. Левела тоже нету. Проморгал. Эй. Засранцы. Да, лечильный меч нужен. Дайте мне руды. Мне нужна руда.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Peppino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Renato, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never return my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Ah, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Latino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east, over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapina was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lapino. You have to catch her.
Плохо. Идиотский план с арбузом.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase. Well, they really needed to redecorate anyway.
Да, походу я рано сошел на лифт. Да, рано зашел на лифт. Тут даже нету контрольной точки. Почему я не могу спуститься вниз? Несправедливо. Ну ладно. На будущее на лифты больше так не заводить. Они хитро объемные.
Who needed bridges anyway?
Да, тут лабиринт вообще какой-то не уровень. И опять назад нельзя. Да, вообще никакой свободы действия. Чуть-чуть прошел по сюжету, все. Это они еще подхиливаются. Эй, ломайся.
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his.
Да, один раз наконец встал, все, пустил сундук.
There were stickers all over the platform for really hot lady foxes, with pictures and addresses and everything.
Теперь можно покрафтить меч. Заряжать для активации магических мечей. Понятно, так он хилит. О, они еще в пропасть могут падать. Прикольно, прикольно. Кстати, мне чем-то Бэтмена напоминает с его механикой.
Renato reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, "Please, I'm enjoying this a little too much," she said, shaken. "Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you?" said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebels' secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her? As they pulled away from the Nexus, Renato could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. "I can't take her to those creatures at the base," he whispered to Lapino. "Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me, she'll turn." And he turned the wheel. "The hell you will!" shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Renato was falling.
Nice. Nice спас. Сейчас сам отгребет.
When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't. As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
Такс. Но мы ничего скрафтить не можем, потому что у нас нет ресурсов. Так. Сюда пройти нельзя.
He'd once met a pirate captain. He used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again?
Мне так кажется, или когда не умирают, они как овцы кричат. Хороший, плохой пихать. Когда тут магов будет много, конечно. Уровень сложности нельзя поставить выше. Пока что враги слишком унылые. Возможно, в будущем они будут посуровее.
Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching. Hero wall, hero sword, ice wall, ice cube.
Ну и попробуем пойдем оттуда.
Hey, what do ravens say when they die? Never mind. I'll wait.
Напугало, разумел, прикольно. Ай. Плохую птичку. Да, было бы, конечно, прикольно, если это были бы боевые голуби. Сразу же бы этот вспомнился.
As Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure, that was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
Так он-то... Закрыем его. Там есть голуби. Так. Ага, мы можем лечиться с помощью меча, это замечательно. Это очень хорошо.
Renato wondered if it wasn't cheaper to build bridges and stairs.
Согласен. Да, уровни, конечно же, большие здесь и многоуровневые. Косяк, косяк, разработчики, я вижу.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicions.
Сущности не падает. Не тот меч. А вот и наш кораблик.
Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. Oh, just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Renato felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away, wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds. Renato picked himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart. That would come in handy in a pinch.
Так, контратака на нас сторон. Чё, как хорошо. О, наконец-то субстанция воды.
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want it to go.
Совсем оборзелись. Психологическая разрядка. Что упало, то пропало, что?
Once, he'd found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
10 из 10, это просто божественно. Первый выпуск Супермена.
There was an engraving. Maximum capacity, 130 people.
Дурацкая руна. Залетел случайно на руну. Не хотел на руну стать.
Barely landed a claw on him.
Они едва коснулись его картины. Так.
Interrupted story time, called the lead raven. Now we'll never find out how it ended.
Ой-ой-ой. Много.
They paused to catch their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Понятно. Они восстанавливают энергию меча.
He was sort of yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
Плохо. Так, что тут у нас? Сундучки, сундучки.
Ready to take on new powers.
Надо будет дождь дальше прокачать. Здесь уже что-то посложнее начинают делать.
Don't look down, he told himself. Don't look down.
Не смотри. Щитоносцы блокируют ваши атаки. Хватайте и бросьте в него другого.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I was going to lead the Empire to a secret base,
Said Lapino.
but no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her.
Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he'd just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit, but now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Что ты за герой? Сделанный выбор. Спасти Лапина, найти... Что вы за герой, который всегда следует зову сердца? Угу.
He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Так, собственно, хорошо. Что мы сейчас выберем? Давайте сюда.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Reynardo went ostrich hunting.
Отправляется на охоту. Так, сколько у нас там времени?
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Ну, в общем, на этом мы пока, я думаю, остановимся. И просто каждая трансляция следующая, это будет отдельный кусочек вот этих историй. И так будем продвигаться по сюжету, я думаю. Все, спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Всем пока-пока.